JobberNationTV. So he's a troll account, Jobber. Everyone knows Jobber on Twitter, right? And he's a sicko. And he goes, AEW is way too sensitive. Jobber provides expert constructive criticism to the company, and instead of accepting it and using it as a way to improve, they lash out and accuse me of being negative. Whether it's Swerve, Dax, MJF, or King Ricochet, they get their feelings hurt too. And then Ricochet goes, no one gets their feelings hurt. Ha ha ha. You just suck. Right? So Ricochet responds to this guy. Right? And then there's more responses to the point where Jobber made like a whole fucking response video. John Draper, shout out John Draper, says this dude thinks not liking something on a TV show that he's on means you're rude and sarcastic, and that it's just mean to say anything other than praise, and you must suck as a person for verbally expressing blah blah blah. Right? And so this guy goes, you sounding really sensitive right now. He sucks because he doesn't agree with you. Wow. And then Ricochet goes, no, he sucks because he is rude, sarcastic, and talks down to people because he knows over the internet there's no consequences. And it's like, okay, Ricochet's been going off since he left the Fed dog on X on people. It's pretty cringe. Here's the Jobber's like response. So I thought this was pretty cringe too. It's epic that he just came out with this crazy rant, but I don't know. Let's hear this guy. You guys tell me if Jobber's a whack job or not.
Tweeting as I normally do. Tweeting criticisms of AEW, which was well-deserved. And then I saw a tweet from Ricochet. Ricochet jumps on Jobber's tweet, and he calls Jobber rude, sarcastic. I'm only doing this because I know there's no consequences. Ricochet, in case you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is Jobber. I am the reality check of the IWC. I am the voice of the IWC. I am one of the leaders of the IWC. My opinion in wrestling Twitter holds weight.
Jobber, come on the show and cut a promo on whatever you want. This is hilarious. Okay? I will DM Jobber and I will ask him to come on this show, and I'm not kidding. This is hilarious, dude. I don't know. I'm not going to listen to the whole 6-minute rant, but here's Brody King, like Glenn Gilberti's going. So Disco Inferno says, nobody in the decision-making... Sorry, I don't mean to... Nobody in the decision-making process thought suffocating someone was a bad idea to be included into professional wrestling programming. And needless to, what audience was this directed to? And Brody King quote tweets it and goes, the sickos, bitch. So, Jimmy again.
Another
Jimmy
guy
Dan.
who loves getting hugs from Tony Khan.
Still seeing, so this guy goes, still seeing a lot of discourse about the AEW attendance numbers, but the reality is, even with popularity down today versus a couple of years ago, they are going to sign the biggest TV rights deal in their existence, which will make them profitable. That's not true unless it's more than 150 million, and even then, we don't know if that's profitable, but and subsequently very successful. Doesn't mean that, no, it doesn't mean they're very successful. I don't know why these people just say stuff like this. Speaking of Julia Gulia, just a heads up, wrestling fans, this account is run by Coke Ibushi. Now, guys, this Dark Pro Wrestleru Flosion account has had me blocked forever. Okay, forever, out of nowhere. I don't even know why. I just go on, I looked at them. Someone posted something from them. I looked at their account, I'm blocked, right? They would post like Japanese clips. This person exposed them. Just a heads up, this person is Kokabushi. If you don't remember who that is, he's the dude that was caught being a PDF file and also catfish people under the name Remy Steele. And yeah, then they follow up and go, yeah, he guilty. He went to go block him and he made his account private. And then he completely deleted his whole ass account. So, I mean, that just screams guilt because apparently... yeah, he was like messing with minors and like that. Another AEW stan like bites the dust there, and someone who, I don't know, blocked me for what? I have no idea. But this person is putting Julia over. I think they're just a Japanese wrestling fan, but yeah, got called out, deleted their account. A true sicko. Another one bites the dust. So yeah, I don't know if you guys chat. Let me know if you're familiar with that account or whatever. But I remember on the show a long time ago, I was like, yeah, this account has me blocked. I was like, I don't know why, but whatever. So this guy, Wrestle Cringe and Awful. I can't wait till all these accounts. I think they all have each other blocked, but I can't wait till all these accounts go to war eventually. Like all the full on like AEW Defender versus AEW Awful Wrestling. You know, like I can't wait till there's a civil war breaks out. But I think they all have each other blocked, so it won't happen. But I would love to host that on my show and just hear the back and forths with these sickos. But yeah, so more people though, Awful getting more views on his than WrestleNomics, on his parody of WrestleNomics than WrestleNomics. So there you go. And then Wrestle Cringe goes, imagine anyone giving a salty bitch. It's funny because Wrestle Cringe is back now. But yeah, I don't know. IWC Wars, Sicko Wars. I hope that happens, man. But JD from NY goes, I see Righteous Reg hasn't done his homework. Shame. Another paid AEW Fightful employee who gives absolutely no fair and balanced criticism of their product, crying about AEW not getting the Motor City Machine Guns and them going to developmental. So, guys, the Motor City Machine Guns are in WWE, and they're going to be the face of the NXT Tag Team division with the move to CW. And I think that's a great move. I think that's a wonderful move for them. But yeah, it's funny seeing JD call people out like this when people call JD out for this exact same. But AJ Styles himself said he wished he started in NXT. There are levels to this, and if AJ says it, you best believe it's the right move. Obviously, I mean, come on. But yeah, let's look at the news here. So this Righteous Reg guy goes 41 and 42 years old, respectively. Their style is mimicked in tag team wrestling in every promotion across the world. They define tag team wrestling for this generation. So yeah, send these guys to development. Yeah, you dumb, because then now they're going to teach that to all of the young talent coming up and all the NIL talent and all of this new generation of tag wrestlers. It's so stupid. But yes, a huge focus on tag wrestling in WWE going forward. I know Chris Connors doesn't like to accept that, and he just likes to try and knock the Tonga twins for whatever reason. But tag wrestling, there's a big focus on it in WWE.
Not, you know, like unlike you, I'm like, okay, we need more seasoning. And you're like, no, we're ready for NXT. Like, oh, geez. That's a whole different story.
I literally said they need more seasoning. I literally said put them on level up.
Seasoning is in stuff before
put them on
NXT.
level up.
NXT is now becoming like a finished.
They still do. They still do shows in front of like 30 people in NXT. But yeah, we don't need to hear AJ Styles quote, or yes, we can. That's what the show's all about. Let's hear it. Let's hear what he had to say about it.
I know that I didn't go through NXT. I understand that. But the learning curve is very steep, and you better learn very quickly if you're able to bypass NXT. That's why it's so important. I've said this to Triple H that they need to go to NXT. There's so much that goes on to just the camera and the way it's directed at you that I didn't learn anywhere else, that they want it done a certain way. And you can only learn that either as soon as they throw you in the fire and it's sink or swim in the WWE main roster, or you go into NXT and you learn, and then you quickly move your way up to the main event. So I think that well, basically what I'm trying to say, I think that everyone needs to go through NXT. And I'm saying this, not going through it. I know, guys, but if you knew how quickly I had to learn once I got there, how important things are to the big man, is it a little stressful? Absolutely. But there was something that I needed to learn very quickly, and I couldn't be asked twice to learn it. It was one time. That's it. Luckily, I was able to, like I said, learn very quickly, but it's very stressful for someone who may have never been.
So right there, AJ is one of the GOATs. What more needs to be said? JD from NY saying some facts. I know it makes people mad, but it's the truth. So this is funny because the Outrunners get a big pop and they're selling tons of merch and all that. And then this guy, WWE Botched, tweets out, AEW doesn't make stars. But like, here's the thing. They didn't make the Outrunners. First off, the Outrunners, I don't even want to, like, this isn't me knocking them. You guys know I love them. They're not like stars. You can't really quantify them as like You know, they're not television stars. They're not like big draws, maybe, or maybe they are starting to become that, whatever. But AEW didn't make them that. They were doing this. They were already over in OVW everywhere. Maybe, I guess, if you want to say out of the two companies, sure. And I don't know. I'm just glad that they're selling tons of merch and that they're getting shine. But AEW doesn't make stars. No, they literally, these outrunners fell into their lap, and Tony won't pull the trigger on them when he should. That's what's going to happen. He won't actually do anything with them. He won't position them in a good storyline or anything. This wrestling blog guy responded. I thought this popped me so hard. So AEW tweets out, due to the graphic nature of the attack on Danielson, we will not be sharing the footage. AEW does not condone such actions. So they're doing like a work shoot, you know, the plastic bag over the head. Wrestling blog quote tweets them and goes, well, this didn't age so well. And then like a minute later, AEW blocked them. So like they're just blocking people. Like now, whatever this wrestling blog is, they're gonna hate AEW forever, you know. So it's just crazy they would block someone who's a potential like customer or someone who'd potentially cover them or whatever. Like the whole company. Like I don't think WWE blocks anyone. There's people like tweeting crazy to them all the time, and I don't think they block. John Draper again makes the show and goes, please be a real tweet. Please be a real tweet. And let's see. So AEW Neckbeards tweets out big business in Lexington. And this guy, Heel Josh, says there's literally a killer on the loose in Lexington. People are even shocked that the show was ran. But of course, you kids don't do your research and will just blame anything on what you want it to be. Now that's projection of the highest order right there. He's literally blaming it on this serial killer thing. Tickets were selling months in advance. And also, why is it the same amount of people that show up to every AEW show, you know? I literally have a viewer who didn't go because of it. Now he has a show. Oh, I didn't go because there's a serial killer. I don't know, man. Seems like more excuses. Like it's always some outlandish, crazy excuse, and that's hilarious to me. Next, they'll be saying there's a Bigfoot out there or something. And they oh, you guys didn't hear? There's a chupacabra on the loose, and that's why. Oh my god. Too funny. They need help though, seriously. So Bix again making the show as well. So Meltzer said, what goes, hi, David Bix. Remember when you tried to litigate Eric Bischoff over no charges being pressed over a vehicular assault? Remember when you thought WWE was risking an in-ring death by letting Edge wrestle again? Jesus. So Bixenspan said, should we peace out before the dumbest people on Twitter try to litigate the most sanded down chair in wrestling history? Again, just defending these sanded down chairs. It's the goofiest, dumbest I've ever heard or seen. But then this is Bix back in the day in 2019 going, WWE risking an in-ring death to satisfy their dictatorial benefactors is going to be fascinating to watch, especially if it's Edge versus not Yokozuna or something like that. And now look at Edge, man, jumping off cages, breaking tibias. And this guy, of course, like, I don't know, Mitsuharu Misawa is his name in that picture. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but yeah, just hilarious that he's like defending the sanded down chair. It never fails, man. Good for me, not for thee. That's the mantra of the sickos in the IWC. Let's listen to this. It's a minute long. I guess this is Bix or Meltzer interviews Eric Bischoff. Okay, let's hear this. I guess this could be funny. I didn't actually listen to this.
I mean, it just seems too unrealistic even for wrestling that someone could hit someone with a car and there will be no charges pressed. I'm not sure if you're, how old are you, by the way? Why do I have to tell you that? Well, you don't have to tell me. I won't take you to court if you don't tell me. I'm just saying that... No. Answer the question. How old are you? I'm a teenager. I'm 15. Okay. When we produce a show, we're producing a show to create emotion. We're not producing a show to, create a format that would stand up under the scrutiny of a judge. There's a lot of things that we do that in real life would never be able to play out. There's a lot of things that the WWF does that in real life, if you put that real analytical, magnifying glass over every single thing that you do, you wouldn't do anything. And the things that you would do would be pretty boring when you really get down to it. True, but wrestlers have been arrested on Nitro before, and it was for petty things like powerbombing people. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look, you've got a point. You know, when we laid out the show, we lay out a show to create emotion, to create controversy. You know, I did what I did because I wanted people to hate my guts for doing it. And the fact that I gloated about doing it, I think, probably got the reaction that we wanted to get out of the audience. And that's why we did it. Now, is there a more logical approach? There probably is. Is there an approach that would, play out in court? There probably is.
Was that Bischoff arguing with Bix or what? That's crazy.
But, that's not what we're doing here. We're creating emotion. We're creating entertainment. And sometimes we do it from, a very logical point of view. And sometimes we do things that in real life would never happen. But that's why we're television, and that's why it's entertainment. You're the last person to talk about logic, though. I'm sorry? I mean, you're the kind of the last person to talk about logic, though, because you did push the giant off the roof. You had that angle.
You did push the giant off the roof. Raven, oh yeah, so here's everyone's trying to compare Jack Perry, Andrew Baydala. Still want to argue with me that Perry doesn't continue to draw parallels to Raven. Yeah, he dresses like him and does his taunt. That's not, I don't know. I just think that's stupid, man. That doesn't draw parallels to Raven to anybody other than, he's just cosplaying his, like doing his mannerisms or whatever in a cringe way. To me, that's not, it doesn't emulate him, or maybe he's emulating him, but it doesn't give off Raven vibes whatsoever. So I just think that's cringe. But this person, are you kidding me? The virtue signaling for AEW continues. I don't know. Is that virtue signaling? Does that quantify as virtue signaling? I'm not sure if that does, but either way. And then, yeah, people were just roasting him. John Draper says, Raven had charisma and ECW was a huge part in the interest and success in getting attention for the company and making it more popular with new fans. Jungle Boy has zero charisma and a huge part as the reason why people are not as interested in attending or viewing anymore. Exactly. He makes people shut the show off. So these same guys, and here's this heel Josh guy again, but they go, the people who stayed home because of the serial killer increased the TV viewership for AEW.
You what?
It's like, what, dude? Because they had like 700,000 watching, which is funny. It fluctuates that 100,000. And it's funny seeing people like jump all over the 700,000, like, still no million. It's like, yeah, we know they're not able to get a million this whole time, bro. They need CM Punk. They need a CM Punk return to do that, at this point. Like it's been years already. We know. So yeah, 700, I guess they consider good now. I don't know. Number 2 in the world, I guess, still. Moving along, I will never underestimate the stupidity of internet wrestling fans. Ricky Morton goes, stop headshots with steel chairs. Ricky Morton saying it, the GOAT. One of the GOATs. This guy here goes, shouldn't a vet like you know when a chair's clearly rigged, gimmicked? Ricky Morton's probably sitting there like, bro, we didn't rig or gimmick chairs, you mark. Another one. Mark. And if you're not sure, maybe ask someone who would know before you use your platform to send unnecessary hate to another wrestling company employing wrestlers. Maybe protect the business a bit more, Ricky. Look at these elitist, schmarmy, cultist, gatekeeper douchebags, and this is what my goal is we're converting these people back into normal people, and we're shutting them down. Enough of this. Enough going at Ricky Morton, bro. Shut up. A shaved chair. You don't understand CT, bro. It's crazy. These sickos think this because of Meltzer, because of the Shillington saying what AEW's doing is okay while it's slowly dying, We cannot stand for it, folks. We cannot stand for it, chat. With our flutes, we play together. We stand strong. But yeah, I don't know, dude. This guy got his brain shaved down clearly when he was a kid, because to even say that to Ricky Morton is just ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, though, there's ridiculous people on the other side, too. These people who are trying to cancel AEW. And I quote tweeted this laughing at this guy trying to cancel AEW, and then Covalent TV blocked me for quote tweeting him and like laughing at this mark trying to cancel AEW. This guy blocks me. So I have no idea what happened there. There was a nice TKO just happened in UFC just now. But yeah, here's some Mark who wants to cancel AEW, which this is super cringe too.
Hi, everyone. It's me, La Parka. I am a former reformed chair swinging freak, so I know a little thing or two about the violence that was carried
This has to be a troll.
out on Saturday night, and I think it must be stopped. And I think I speak for everyone. Isaiah Scott, Daniel Bryan. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. Hi, everyone.
I don't know, dude. That's I don't know what this guy's deal is, but I like the gimmick. I like it. Let's keep it right over here. I like what this kid's doing. Because if he's trolling, I'm gonna be following it forever.